Hello everyone, welcome to the new class of biology. In the previous class, we discussed some basic terms about how the occurrence of genetics took place, what were the various characteristics that were used by Mendel to study about the inheritance of the genetics. So in today's class, we will just see how different terms are used in this chapter. So there are various different terms used in this chapter. We will first understand those terms, then we will start the chapter thoroughly in the coming days. Okay, so first thing we have to understand what is genetics. Genetics is nothing but it's a study of a principle of heredity and its mechanism, also the variations which is occurred, means the parental generation when gives birth to the next generation, then what type of variation or what character changes might have occurred in the next generation, what are the characters that are passed into the next generation. All these things are being studied with the help of genetics. Actually, Gregor Johann Mendel is known as the father of genetics, which I had told yesterday. So that's about genetics. Now we will study the basic terminologies. What is a gene? Gene is nothing but it's a unit of inheritance. It helps to inherit several characters. More, even the smallest or the finest of the character is being passed into the next generation with the help of this gene. Okay. Allele. Allele is actually a pair of contrasting character. Pair of contrasting character in the sense characters will have always two different sets, right? Like I said already, height is actually an allele and it will have two different characters. One is the tallness, second is the dwarfness. Similarly, different characters have different uh, popularity. Like for example, if we take with the example of a human being, color of the eye. Suppose if I say black color is a dominant color and brown color eye is the black color eye is the dominant character and brown color eye is the recessive character. We have discussed what is dominant yesterday and what is recessive. Dominant character is the one in which by which the expression of that color, that black color for example, can be expressed, but recessive is the one which is hidden in that particular organism but cannot express, but both these characters are present in an organism. So that color of the eye is actually an allele. Okay, then comes homozygous condition and heterozygous condition. Homozygous condition means allele pair having same character. For example, I am taking the height as a character and I consider capital T for tall and small t for dwarf condition. Homozygous condition means a condition where both the genes have the same character, means capital T, capital T. What does it mean? T is a dominating character, so capital T means it will be having a tall character. Small t, small t. What does it mean? It means it will be a small character, it will be a recessive character, and it will be have dwarf condition. It will be tall condition, it will be of dwarf condition. That is what homozygous means. But heterozygous means we have different characters, means both these characters can be occurred from this process. Capital T, small t. Here we can say about the process of dominancy or recessivity. Who is dominant here? Tall. So tall character will be expressed from this expression. So capital T small t can be written as tall, or this character can be said as capital T small t means tall. Next one about the genotype and phenotype. As we said now, if we take capital T and small t, from these we will have three condition upward: capital T, small t, capital T, small t. This is actually, or these characters are actually, or alleles are actually present in an organism's DNA itself. And when it is passed to the next generation, the genes there decide which one must be given or which one must be included in the chromosome. So that has been not yet found by the scientists about how it happens, but we are well aware about these characters could pass into the next generation. Okay, so these things, capital T, small t, sorry, capital T means the tallness condition, small t means the complete dwarf condition, and capital T, small t means the impure tall condition. Why it is said impure tall? Because it has a recessive character. Both of these are pure conditions. Both these capital T, small t, both these are pure conditions, and this one alone is an impure condition. I hope you are understanding the concept. Then what is actually the phenotype? Phenotype is nothing but the physical expression of these things. What is this actually? It is a tall. What is this? It is dwarf. What is this? Tall. Means from the character height we can see there are two phenotypes. One is tall, one is dwarf. From the character color of eye we can understand two phenotypes. One is brown color, sorry, one is black color dominant, another is the recessive type, brown color. Okay, so different types of phenotype are expressed with the help of a genotype. Actually genotype expresses how a phenotype must be expressed. Okay, then regarding this phenotype and genotype there are also some ratio. The ratio regarding genotype is the genotypic ratio. Ratio regarding phenotype is the phenotypic ratio. How can we evaluate that? Suppose we are calculating the genotypic ratio. Then we can say that the genotypic ratio here could be what? Small t is in the ratio 1:1. Capital T is in the ratio 1. And capital T, small t is in the ratio 1. So we can say here that the tall conditions are actually 2 here, and the dwarf condition is actually only 1 here. So from this all complete condition we will get a ratio of 2:1, 2 tall and 1 dwarf condition. But what about the height or the phenotype ratio? Phenotype ratio expresses only the basic thing only. So phenotypic ratio actually says tall will be only 1, dwarf will be only 1. Means the ratio here will be 1:1 ratio. That's about the phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio. We had already said about the dominant and the recessive character. Capital T is the dominant character, small t is the recessive character. Because of this presence of capital T factor, this expressions can be expressed as a trait, as a character. Okay. Next comes the monohybrid cross. What is actually a monohybrid cross? It's nothing but when two different organisms, when gets crossing process, when gets included together, those two organisms will have a difference of one gene. Means crossing process which includes only one character is actually monohybrid cross. Dihybrid cross is the crossing process of two organisms where two characters are included. One character means in the sense tall, capital T, small t. This is one character, this is another character. So this is a monohybrid cross. But in some cases dihybrid cross can also occur. Means two characters will be included in a single thing, like a tall plant with a round shape seed. It can be written as capital R round shape, and capital T tall, and also small r for round opposite character will be wrinkled, and small t is actually dwarf. So these are two different characters which are included in an organism's genotype, right? So This genotypic expression where two different characters are included are known as, or is known as, dihybrid cross. Okay. So what is a test cross? Test cross is nothing but when a dominant character and a recessive character, dominant character being from the F1 generation that we will discuss later, dominant character of an F1 generation crosses with the recessive character or the parent generation is actually known as test cross. What is an F1 generation and F2 generation? F1 generation is the generation that is occurred from the parents. F2 generation is occurred from the F1 generation. Okay. There is also a process known as self-crossing. Self-crossing is nothing but to cross a certain character to itself. Means if we have small t as character, we will cross this small t with itself. This is known as selfing, not selfie, selfing, self-crossing. Okay, that's all about the today's class. Thank you. Have a nice day.